Hello, this is Tim Campbell at Action Coach Business Coaching with my Survive and Thrive Business Spotlight series. The purpose is to interview local business owners and promote them through my social channels and email database, as well as provide them coaching. This is a free service I'm doing because if we save every business, we save the economy. Today, I have the pleasure of talking with Mike. Welcome, Mike. It's great to have you on the program today.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Well, let's jump in. Tell us a little bit about yourself. And in a 60-second commercial, tell us about your business.
60 seconds. So Mike Tinder, I'm here in Indianapolis, and my business is Executive Barbell. I'm somewhat of a personal trainer. I'm more of a strength and conditioning coach for executives. I got here, it was a fun journey. I graduated when I was 22 from college, around 21, 22. So I've got a 20-year career. It kind of has led me to this. It's involved a lot of, my first 10 years were in sales and real estate. And then I spent about 8 to 10 years in coaching, and I did barbell coaching part-time. I ended up learning more about leadership and coaching in the barbell business than I did in any of my other ventures. And this past year, or about 5 years ago, I was doing this part-time, and back in 2019 committed to doing this full-time. And so Executive Barbell is what I'm doing now.
Fantastic. So tell me, who is your ideal client? Who's your best customer? We call that your target audience.
My target audience are the busy executive and sales professional. So individuals who are married, who are in their professional life are in a leadership or I call solopreneur type role, where they're in charge of their own schedule. They're up to something. Typically typically they also have some kind of physical, or either they come from an athletic background or they're doing something athletic. Their physicality of their life is still important to them. But I think really the key feature, the key characteristic is time. A lot of these guys, they're up to something. They're busy. And so that's the audience that I target, the busy executive, the busy sales professional who also has a commitment they're not keeping to their physicality.
Fantastic. Mike, tell me, what's been the greatest impact that COVID's had on your business?
Obviously, people are concerned with the safety of going to gyms. And unfortunately, shutting gyms down and things like that, it was unfortunate for them. But in what I'm doing, I'm teaching people to lift on their own and hopefully set up their own home gym so that they no longer have any excuses of time, travel, location as to why they can't get their training in. So that obviously benefits a guy like me. Because you can't actually go and equip your garage with every piece of machinery that you use at a gym. But everybody can squeeze a barbell rack in their garage and still pull their car in, stack plates and a barbell in the corner. And my job is to kind of introduce them to that, the barbell, how to strength train properly, and why it's a really good choice to help you meet your physical needs, whether those are trying to get in shape. Maybe you want to get strong. Maybe you just want to look good. So, COVID has opened that door for that conversation really easily for me, which is great. It's also created a market for equipment. There's not a lot of equipment available out there, the inventory, because everybody has bought it up. So, if I can help people find equipment, that's a plus too.
Wonderful. So, Mike, what are one or two actions that you've taken during this period of time to make a difference in your business, and how's that working for you?
One, and I'm just getting ready to do this, I've been able to create rental packages. So if a client once a client decides that, hey, strength training with a barbell is going to be the route for me, I definitely need a coach, because you don't have to have a coach, but if you really want one to help you create your commitment, okay, I'm going to work with a coach. I can rent them the equipment necessary for them to get started. So it's another thing. It's kind of forced me to kind of rethink how I do things. And so I have a full setup two of them ready to go. I've got my legal team putting together the rental agreements as we speak. And in the next couple of weeks, I'll be ready to roll those out so that if someone's ready to go, hey, I'm sorry, if they have a conversation with me, they're not going to have any excuse with time. Like, well, I don't have the equipment. Yes, you do. I got it in my shed. It's ready to go. So it's, I'm basically going to destroy people in sales conversations if time and equipment come up, because I've got that ready to go, which is a huge plus.
Fantastic. That's awesome.
They'll feel really bad when I open up my van and it's actually in the van right now. It's like, hey, we could start right now in this parking lot. Let's get the excuses out of the way and let's get going.
Awesome. Hey, so here's an interesting question, Mike. It's been said that smart people learn from their mistakes and wise people learn from the mistakes of others. So what mistakes have you made along the way, and how can other entrepreneurs learn from your experience?
We don't have enough time for the long list of this conversation. So ask that question again, please. What is my mistake? And then what mistake have I learned for others? Is that correct?
What is a key mistake that you've made along the way that you wouldn't mind sharing that other people can learn from so they don't repeat the same mistake?
Yeah. One, spending too much time preparing.
Yeah.
There's I spend too much time on my marketing. I spend too much time worrying about my website. I spend way too much time worrying about what Tim might think of me before I jump on this call. You sent me the message to do this several months ago, and I didn't do it because I'm not ready. I don't have a great website up. I work out of my garage. It's open air. Like I don't have anything sexy, which is what is currently out there. You look on Instagram, I mean, there's all kinds of fancy material. I got metal barbells that, if you lick while you're in here, your tongue will stick to it. Like this is not an environment conducive to well, I shouldn't say this is for a niche person. Like this is all gonna be about the work. So spending way too much time worried about what other people are going to think about you, as opposed to building relationships with people and finding out what it is they really want, being completely okay with all the resistance they may put up front. That's fine, because some people just aren't looking or are not ready to look for this yet. Yeah. And being completely okay with that from the get-go. So number one, my mistake, spending way too much time preparing versus doing the work. Yeah. What have I learned from watching other people other than the same thing as spending too much time preparing? Doing work you don't love. Stop it. Like, just don't do it. Find a way to create a way for you to work. And now with COVID, like working from home and things like that, like people are able to start creating their own schedules and how they want to do their business. Like create something that you really enjoy doing. Like I enjoy coming out here and coaching. I enjoy working out of my garage. I enjoy the technical part of lifting. I enjoy the science behind the programming and the conversations and the intensity behind it. And I like that. And so I think, people continue to do things they don't like.
Yeah. Yep. Both of those things I hear every day as I'm working with clients. One of the phrases that I say multiple times a day is, remember, it's progress, not perfection. Right?
Yeah.
And to your point, like much better to put something out there that's roughly right than spend 3 months worrying about it, not being perfect and losing those 3 months. So thank you for sharing that. I appreciate your vulnerability. And I know that that is great advice for many people as they're looking at moving their business forward.
Yeah.
So second last question here, Mike. I've got your contact information. I'll be sure to include that when I post this interview. Is there anything else that you'd like to share? Do you have any types of offers for folks if they're interested in learning more about how this barbell coaching works?
Sure. They can contact me at my email address, Mike, M-I-K-E, at teamtinder.com. That's TEAMTINDER.com. You can check out what's currently on my website. As I mentioned, I could spend a lot of time preparing my website, and I haven't. But there's a little bit there, www.executivebarbell.com. I offer, and one current thing I'm doing right now, other than, hey, man, as anybody who's selling something or trying to create a relationship, like conversations count. So, I love to answer questions for those of you who are trying to decide what route to take in your exercise programming to help you achieve your physical goals. I'd be more than willing to have a conversation to try and help guide you through that. And a special person's going to want to work with me. So if you get to the point where you want to work out in someone else's garage, lifting really heavy things, it's easy. It's an easy fit. But getting there is the part I enjoy helping people do. So, a conversation, I wish I could invite you to a coffee and buy it for you. If you want to do that, great. If not, we can do things virtually. I'm also more than happy to, if someone's currently lifting weights, squat, bench, press, deadlift, I'm more than happy to kind of take a look at the program they're currently doing, as well as coach them up on some video at no charge, so they can get an experience of what a coach's eye might see for them, okay, and where they might be getting stuck and how a coach could help them.
Fantastic. Awesome. Thank you, Mike. So last question here. Tell me, what's been most inspiring to you today during all this craziness that's going on?
Craziness. Talking about politics, talking about COVID.
Both and everything else.
Well, you're a coach, right? So, and I've been in that world, and everything that's going on is a freaking breakdown, dude. Like, and everybody who listens to this knows that, like, and a breakdown is essentially something that shouldn't be. It just so happens that basically everything going on right now shouldn't be. The potential leaders for our country and how they present themselves and their character and how they're campaigning their leadership, I think that's a breakdown. There's no way this great country should have leaders that handle their character and their way to campaign in the ways that our current two leaders who are vying for leadership are handling it. I think the violence, the everything, it's a breakdown. And inside that breakdown, there can be conversations, possibilities, actions, and commitments that can be created to really, really drive us into a powerful direction as a country, as a people, that allows everyone to have different views and different ways to getting to probably the same endpoint, which is, cooperation, freedom, freedom of speech, all that stuff that we're really looking for. So the inspiring part about it is the breakdown that this is currently in, and hopefully we can be led into a conversation that generates commitments and values and all of that moving forward that are going to really help us. And the last piece I'm adding to that is, I heard a phrase a long time ago that wraps this up real nicely. Behind every complaint is a commitment. Just turn on the TV. Everything is a complaint. And behind that is a buried commitment that if we could uncover that, we're all going to be moving forward in a really happy place, that a lot of people are successful and we're all able to take care of each other.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for sharing, Mike. I appreciate your insights today. It's great to learn a little bit more about yourself and your business. For those listening, if you heard something today that inspires you in terms of getting fit, please take advantage of Mike's offer to have a consultation. If you heard anything about just business in general, if there's something that you're struggling with that you'd like the opportunity to talk through, I do offer complimentary coaching sessions, and I'll provide information on that in this link as well when I post this interview. Mike, it's been a pleasure learning about you and your business today. I wish you tremendous success.
When are you going to come in here and lift some weights?
Oh, man, I don't know.
Let's go. I got an open spot this afternoon. Come on. We can go to 135 in no time.
All right, my friend. Have a great day.
Thanks, Tim.